Welcome to episode 23 of the BattleVault, a no dice, no glory podcast dedicated to the world of BattleVault's 15mm tactical gaming, including Flames of War, World War III Team Yankee, Great War, NAM, and Fate of the Nation. Today's the 17th of December, 2021, and Tom, what's going on?
Hey, man.
It's been a
while. What up, bro?
Yeah.
Hey, so we're back. Sorry, folks, we missed November.
Yeah, we were busy.
Yeah, November. I was not home for a single weekend in November.
Yeah.
I was between Thanksgiving and we had a Disney trip. That's 3 weekends of the month gone.
Yeah.
So
when you were gone, I was in South Carolina.
Yeah, you were gone for a good bit too. So that was a good time for our job as far as course load for us to get out and do some stuff. So that was good. But sorry, folks, we weren't quite able to produce a episode in November, and this one's going to be kind of short. We will not have any guests joining us today. This is the end of the year, so Ed and I will just talk about a few things to kind of get you up to date, some things you may know about or have heard about, and we'll just give you some of our perspectives. A couple of good things that happened. So we'll be maybe even a shorter podcast than normal, but hopefully it will give you something enjoyable to listen to as you paint or drive or whatever you're doing, raking leaves.
or working out on the treadmill. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, sure. Nobody's doing that.
Right.
Nobody's doing that. War gamers here. Nobody's working on the treadmill.
We're painting.
So, good deal. So, Ed, what you been up to, man?
Not much other than traveling and getting things done. However, I did go to a couple of tournaments during this time period since our last one.
Yeah, you went to Greenville? What was that called?
I went to Greenville. It's called Skoda Fest.
Yep.
And had some fun down there. Didn't do too well, but I got to play my American Mid-Wars, and I've had it for years. I wanted to play them, and I didn't care where I posted, and it's a good thing I didn't care because I posted near the bottom.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And but you did better. We did a last weekend, Hard Knocks Games, our gaming haunt, hosted a special 30-point late war tournament with some limitations on tanks that made it more of an infantry fight or at least light armored car type fight. And that was interesting. It was only 30 points. We did 5 rounds, I think 70 minutes per round.
Yep.
And it was pretty quick. We got through those things fast.
Yeah, we had 18 people there, which is more than I thought we were going to have.
You wouldn't think you'd have 18 players for a very unique format, you know. Very non-standard.
Uh-huh.
But it was great, and I think we had who won that? Chris Fretz?
No, Joe. Joe got it, and
then Chris.
Yeah,
and then Steve, a local guy,
Payne,
and then Ed,
and then me.
Yeah, Ed did all right. What were you running, Ed?
I was running. What was I running? I was playing Soviets. I went there to go play German, but somebody needed some of my pieces to finish their force. So I said, well, I'll just play this one. So I ended up doing pretty well with it.
Yeah, and the guy that needed those pieces was Joe Lewis. The guy that used those pieces to win the event.
Yeah, there you go.
Which, by the way, we don't have his list in front of us, but he basically had a Puma company with 2 Puma platoons, a Puma headquarters vehicle, and then he had 2 platoons of the short 75s. I think some were wheeled and some were tracked.
Yeah, and he ate me alive in the final round.
Yeah, well, he beat me pretty bad, too. I think I got 1 point. It was 7-2. I was able to knock out his...
Well, he smashed me at a 1-8.
Yeah, well, just go so you can do some different events. And you've been painting a good bit lately, right?
No. I haven't done anything since probably our last podcast.
No, you sent me some pictures recently. Yesterday.
That's what I'm going to be painting.
Oh, that's what you're going to be painting?
I have not started on them yet.
Oh, they look like...
But they were already started. This is...
Yeah, they were base coated.
Yeah, this is that group that I'd started a long time ago. I just brought them back out to finish them up.
Oh, I see. Well, they look like they're done to me. Yeah, me too. Not a whole lot of... and I've been painting 28mm Napoleonics, and... that's not leaving me a lot of time to do anything else.
Yeah.
Those are very, very involved. I'm enjoying it. It's very relaxing, but I've got to get back into stuff. I've got a lot of things to get working on. And although I have reduced my back, I have really not, compared to last year, I think I pointed 400 teams.
Yeah, you did a lot last year.
This year, a mere fraction. But I have sold a lot of things on Facebook and eBay. I've moved a lot of... backlog stuff that I'm just like, because now I have a 3D printer, I'm like, why am I storing all this stuff to never get to?
Yeah.
So I might as well sell it off. I don't like metal and anyway, so I can start selling off my metal stuff, and then when I do eventually feel like getting around to do whatever it was I was saving those pieces for, I can just print them
right on the spot.
Yeah, or just
buy if they're available,
or buy the new plastics, which I prefer. It's my first go-to thing.
Right.
So that's been pretty good. So I guess we probably what we're talking about today. We'll cover recent events a little bit, and then if you didn't catch it, Joe Lewis and his Battle Rankings video cast interviewed Pete Simonovich. And so we have some info on some upcoming plans for Battlefront. Sorry, we're BattleVault.
Yeah, the other battle people.
Those
guys.
Yeah, those guys. But they're going to release a video, a Christmas upcoming video, which will have much more details than we're going to be able to share with you here. So be looking for that. In fact, by the time you hear this podcast, that video may be released, or shortly after you hear this, it would be released. One or the other. So we're going to talk about that. There also was a release for FM 105 and more lessons from the front, so we'll talk about some of the significant things there, and we'll use that in place of rules Ed forgot. So, and then as usual, we'll talk about some of the upcoming events in 2022. So that's kind of our plan. Sound like a decent program there?
Yeah, nice, short, sweet, to the point.
All right, well, let's switch over to events. We already talked about our movement to contact. So there was many events over December, the first couple of weeks. A lot of Toys for Tots events. Mm-hmm. In fact, on the podcast or the video cast that Joe had with Pete, they said that there was 22 stores that conducted a Toys for Tots Flames of War / Team Yankee event of some type. Not always being tournaments, sometimes big battles or whatever. And everybody got a chance to be drawn for a prize. I didn't get anything. Well, they only announced the top 5, so we still may have something. There's like 20 people be drawn for small stuff. So there's still a chance. I don't know where they're going to put that out, but that's coming. And they had 270 players.
Wow.
So that's, 270 times a minimum $15 toy donation.
That's pretty good donation.
That's a good $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 worth of toys going out to some needy kids. So that was a good deal.
Yeah.
And some of those, Dreamers Vault had an event in November. I think that was it was a Team Yankee.
Team Yankee.
It says November TY, but we're on the Flames of War section. It says Late War, so I think this is mislabeled. And Keith Gilmore won that one with 13 players. Mm-hmm. And then the Adventure Begins, Toys for Tots 2021, had a guy named Gerald Dickens. We don't know him. And
playing Hungarians.
Hungarians with 14 players. And they were in Conroe, Texas. Sorry, Conroe, Texas, folks. Have no idea where that is in Texas, but 14 players. And the Skoda Fest that you're at, they had 18 players with Chris Johnson taking first place with Soviets.
Yep.
And were you last? Were you dead?
No,
last?
I think I was second to last.
I'm going to check.
Third to last. I don't know. I haven't looked.
I'm
third to last.
Third to last.
14 points.
Yeah, excellent. All right, well, that's good. Able Company's Toys for Tots. This is at the same time as Skoda Fest. Had 20 players. Chris Fretz won that, and that was a late war event. Mm-hmm. Millennium Con in Texas. I think that's in Houston.
I think so.
Round Rock? No, actually, Round Rock is near Austin. And that was won by Brian Kochas, who we know very well.
We know.
14 players there, and it was a late war event. Yeah. D6 up in Minnesota. Nathan Cran won that one.
Oh, okay.
And again, is that the dad or the son? I always messed that up. I think Nathan is the dad.
Okay.
And Michael is the son. I think that works.
I don't know.
Well, congratulations there. 16 players. And I believe my buddy Chris Growitz at that one. Mm-hmm. See if he shows up. No, who was at a different one? I saw his face at one of their Toys for Tots events. And
Cedarburgs were there, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Were they both there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good because John Cedarburg had some medical stuff recently. I'll save the details, but glad to see him back gaming again.
Yeah.
Lake Lanier Invitational, Will Miller. Playing, again, Hungarians, mid-war.
Look at
and that was in Dawsonville, Georgia. Well, I don't know any of these names.
Oh, wow.
Nobody.
So, there's Aaron right there.
Oh, yeah, Aaron. But sorry, Aaron. Aaron Macheski Preston was there. So we know one guy there out of the 8 players. Well, way to go, Aaron. I hope you're helping to build a community out there.
Yeah, I played him at Skoda Fest. He nailed me pretty good.
We have them all on the in fact, that was at his house Lanier. That's where he is.
That
was like Aaron. That was like a tournament in Aaron's house.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So good job helping to build up the local community there, and then that takes us through November, and then CincyCon will cover that. That came after Masters. We didn't go. Did you not go?
No, we
could not.
We had Masters at the same.
Oh, was it the same time as Masters?
I think it was the same date.
Then we probably covered that already. Sam Gupta, that doesn't sound familiar. Well, he came in first place, and yeah, sorry we had to miss it. Oh, Tony Thompson went. Yeah, with Germans, came in 10th out of 14.
Yeah, that's Tony's area.
Yeah, excellent. Well, no, Tony Thompson.
Our Thompson. Yeah, Tony. I'm thinking Tony Davis.
Yeah, no. Yes.
Yeah, he's in that area too.
Yeah, well, glad to see.
He shows up to that.
Glad to see Tony up there, and congratulations, Sam.
Yeah.
So those are some of the past events. Good number, and we only have the scores for handfuls of them. Based off what's posted on Battle Rankings. That's where we go to get these updates. Mm-hmm. So let's take it back to.
What about Historicon? Did we talk about that?
We did not talk about Historicon, nor did we talk about Team Yankee. So Historicon, 20 players. Might be the smallest Historicon tournament yet. Mm-hmm. And there were some other tournaments there, like I think the Blood and Plunder was as big. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't as big as normal, but I don't, it's not a normal year. And but anyways, Chris Jackson won that in a.
He won the late war.
Late war. It was a late war tournament.
And he was playing what? American? No.
Say right there, Ed.
I can't say. I don't matter. Focus.
Ed's blind.
Yeah, I don't have a reading glasses.
He can't see it. Yeah. He can't see it. He played Germans. So
okay.
Probably some 1/16th guys with
88s.
It was late war. Yeah. So probably 1/16th kind of thing.
Yeah.
So sorry we don't have those lists. And then for Team Yankee events. A few of those. Thanksgiving Alpine Assault. Patrick Rice won that one. 8 players. And they were up in Leesburg, Virginia.
He was playing Anzacs.
Yeah, they have those on Team Yankee.
Yeah, I haven't seen a force with Anzacs yet.
Well, they're there. They're in the Free Nations book.
Oh,
yeah, they're a lot like Canadians. They're Leopard 1s and 113s and stuff. So slight differences. Toys for Tot at Fabricators Forge. That's out there in Pennsylvania with Timothy Howden winning that one, playing the U.S. Go USA.
Yeah, good.
Dreamers had a November Team Yankee event with 12 players, run by Keith Gilmore and his Brits, and we had a D6 that's also up in Minnesota, Minneapolis area, right? With on the 30th of October with Ryan Waldock winning that one.
Yeah, Rockies.
Yep, and they were in Rochester, not Minneapolis. I think that's like a couple hours away from Minneapolis, but. Okay, and then they also at the same place in Rochester, D6 had a D6 October event.
Looks like the same group, the same
yeah,
day.
that may be double entry.
Yeah.
90 points, 3 rounds, 7 players, and the other one has looks like duplicate entry.
Yeah, it is.
World War III doubles, interesting. Poles won it with Lance Matthew and with his partner Jace Pippin, who was running West German.
Hey,
so
look at that.
So that's interesting. Yeah,
Yay.
there's only 4 teams, so but that's 8 players. So Lance Matthew and Jace Pippin combined
I wonder how they did that.
I guess obviously they didn't have a red and blue restrictions for Poles and Germans.
West Germans, hey,
Poles,
hey, what's up?
So could have been CincyCon. Rich Bear won that one in October, and there should be I thought a Historicon. Because there's at least 2 Historicon.
I think it wasn't that on the other page too?
There was at least 2 Historicon events, and I thought one was Team Yankee.
Yeah, I think they put it on the Team Yankee page. I thought I saw it there.
You mean the Flames of War page?
No. Yeah,
Flames
that's what I'm
of War page. Yes, I know what you're thinking, and you're not saying that.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm thinking one thing, saying another thing.
Yes, not uncommon. So they've only got 1 Historicon event listed for.
There's Team Yankee right there.
I don't think that's
not
Historicon.
Yeah, that's got to be.
Yeah, so I think something in here is missing from one of the Historicon events. They did a 2-day event, Friday and Saturday. That was a big thing. And they did something else on Thursday, which I thought was Team Yankee, but I didn't see that listed. So I guess it might have been. And I think this Historicon 2021 World War III, what does it say, World War III? Well, that doesn't make sense. We're in the World War II settings, and but
the forces.
But it says late war, but it says World War III. So
got the titles messed
something's
up.
jacked up here. Yeah, it says Flames of War, Late War, but then it says World War III in the title. So but anyways, I do know that Chris Jackson won both events.
Right. Yeah, he did.
So I'm not. I think these 20 players are the. With Tim McClellan playing German, so that's definitely that's the World War II event that they got posted. Even though it's labeled World War III, and then under Team Yankee they don't have the World War III data at all. Although we know Chris Jackson won.
Yeah.
Whew, that's a lot of stuff, man. Yeah, I know. All right, well, so that's best as we know what happened in the past. But good news is, a lot of tournaments still happening.
That's right.
People still cranking it out, and and we've got some stuff up on the horizon we'll talk to later. Mm-hmm. So now let's, if you didn't catch it, this is Friday night, and so 2 nights ago, on Wednesday the 15th, Joe had on Pete Semenovich, and he also had John Matthews to do the drawings for from the Toys for Tots thing. Somebody won their height then models, some guy, I didn't recognize his name, and then there's 5 people won like 150-point armies or something. Yeah. And Chris Fretz was one of those. He was one of those. And then there'll be 20-some people that get pulled for just a single box set. So from the 270 players, 6 have already won something. Mm-hmm. So for the 264 that remain, you have basically a 1 in 20, a 1 in 10 chance.
1 in 10 chance. Yes.
Almost.
I could be a contender.
Yeah, more like a 1 in 9 chance. so we'll see. I think they'll post those here shortly. And good luck to everybody up there who participated. Hope you.
Hey, but you know what? Those are better odds than me winning a tournament.
Yeah. That's right. So there's hope. So all right. Well, let's. What do you say we talk about what's coming up in the future?
Yeah, let's do that now.
Yeah. So Pete said that Battlefront will release a video like they did. They did not do one last year, but the year before they did a here's our plan. It was like a holiday video with snowflakes in the background and little nice themed intro. But then they talked about the upcoming things, a lot of sneak peeks and previews and so on.
Are they going to release that prior to Christmas or before New Year?
Before Christmas. Okay, I think it'll probably be next week. That's why, remember in the intro I said
I know.
By the time they hear this, it might be out in a day or two after that.
I didn't know how long you were thinking this was going to take to get published
This should be out in a couple days.
Well, that's good.
This should be out. So, anyways, so hopefully this is news. Hopefully,
and not old news.
Hopefully the video hasn't already come, and we said everything wrong. But there may be some stuff on here. Pete did not want to. I knew he previously said going into it that it wasn't going to have any spoilers. They want to save that for the video, but he had some spoilers, and there may be some things because some of the stuff he talked about are not going to happen next year or for beyond that, so they may not be covered in that video. So you might get something from this that you did not get from the video, potentially.
All right, okay.
So new video come and watch for that, and there may be some new stuff. So disappointingly, he said that German Bulge was out due sometime around May. Yeah, and we wanted that.
Is that because of the production and backlog on transportation?
Yeah, and he also said that they were setting expectations and giving much longer lead time, so it could be quicker.
Okay.
So I think they're trying to just...
So this is sort of like a no later time in their book right now?
I don't want to say that, but he did say that Battlefront are giving longer lead times for making, for shipping delays and so on. So,
and if it happens earlier, it happens
earlier, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
But bottom line up here for you and I and all of our friends coming to Wolfcraig in March, there will not be a German Bulge kit out. That's the bad news.
Yeah.
The good news is it's an awesome book. It's going to have a ton of stuff in it, and it will have
What?
Plastic
King Tigers.
Yes.
And Pink and Jag Panthers.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. But one kit that can build either model.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's coming. They're also going to...
Oh, you mean Jag Tigers?
Yeah, Jag Tiger.
Jag Tigers.
Yeah, Jag Tiger. The 128 millimeter gun.
Yeah.
So
not Jag Panthers.
No, you read exactly what was written, which was incorrect.
Right. That's okay. But I know what you meant. Yeah. The King Tiger and the Jag Tiger.
Indeed. And a Firestorm Market Garden set.
Is that a reproduce of the old one?
Yeah, but it would be brought up to V4 standards.
Oh, good.
So the platoons, basically, I think most of it remains the same. But remember, the Firestorm units have their own unit cards.
Yeah.
And sometimes they have, unique kit. For example, the BF2 Panzer Flammwagons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Char Bs with the flamethrowers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of key for that battle.
Right.
Well, not, I don't know they're key, but
they're unique and
unique to that battle.
Adds a little flavor.
Yeah, those would have a specific unit card in that set. I would expect because and also some of the training Tiger units. Although there's some other things, but anyway, so the Firestorm units have to be brought up to V4 stats standards.
Okay, I got you.
So that's really the only change. So it's basically an update. So that's coming.
Yeah, I look forward to that. I love that.
And then Pete talked about, and I think did he not? I think he showed one of these the mid-war compilation books. So there'll be mid-war compilations, and it was a damn thick book. It was like like 3 times thicker of any of the version 4 books. But you got to think it's a compilation book that has
all of them together?
Everything together. Yes. So it might be some updates and some new units in there, and specifically,
it'd be nice if they put the. Not the Valentines, the other ones. Matildas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get the Matildas.
That would be shocking. It seems like there's a huge reluctance to do Matildas, but that would be great to have them. So, any case, and they're going to release some new starter sets to go with those for mid-war. So they will have which was pretty good because, the original version 4 Desert starter sets were just kind of weak. Compared to the
new ones
the incredibly awesome $100-ish sets that were just jam-packed full of stuff.
Right.
So they're going to have 2 starter sets. One that's going to be based around Tobruk.
Yep.
Tobruk. And one based around Kasserine.
Right.
And so, now Pete showed a picture of him in the video, and I was watching it on my phone because I was volunteering.
Okay.
So I was away, but I could actually kind of watch a little bit. So he showed pictures of one of the sets. It looked pretty big, but I couldn't tell from the quick glimpse whether it had both sides. So if it's like a Tobruk set.
You mean German and the Brit side?
So I'm thinking
2 separate.
So I'm thinking like an open fire starter set. Since it's focused on a battle, I think we'll have
both sides. A
little bit of both sides. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good.
But it'll be bigger than the starter sets they had both sides for the original. Desert were not very. Where they had like 5 tanks or something, and it was.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So anyways, those would be cool to see. Another thing that they covered, I think, which will be out. Well, I think it'll probably be in early 23. But Pete confirmed that there will be a Red Dawn for Team Yankee.
Yeah. Get some special cards in there with some special units.
Oh yeah.
But they got to reference the movie. They're referencing it in the title. They've got to do.
Yeah, I think
that.
Invasion USA kind of plan thing. Yeah. So for those retro folks, So. Will they have Wolverines?
I don't know. That'd be like a special card
he mentioned Wolverines in the video.
Okay. Well, I didn't see the video.
He also said something about a special objective that would have one of the characters sitting in top of a BMP drinking a milkshake by a road sign or something. Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's a special objective coming out of that.
Okay.
With a BMD. and speaking of BMDs, there will be plastic BMDs.
Oh, no kidding.
So, which is it's extremely cool. Yeah. But as a guy that has, nearly 40 BMPs now, it's
you can just add to your collection.
Can I just get the cards and run my BMPs as BMDs?
No, you can't
there's hardly any point to it. They're
minor.
They're the same stats basically. They wouldn't be hardly any different. I mean, maybe they'll be slower because they're compact. They're a little squattier, and I don't know what the stats might be for those, but we shall see. So I'm excited about that. But I don't think that's 2022. I think that's coming later. He did say that Pete, being he, that there would be Berlin books coming later in 2022. Maybe he said maybe they slip until the end of 2022 with Berlin. I don't know what's coming first.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, that would be what we had in the last time. Oh, and he did say they would include because people during this interview were typing questions, and he did a good job answering those. And somebody asked about night fighters, the Nachtjägers, like we had in version 3, and Pete confirmed those will be in the Berlin stuff. So those are coming.
Yeah, Panthers with the infrared,
and then
the infantry with the Vipers.
Now some of this other stuff is more hypothetical, as they were just kicking around, ideas. So, and I don't think in 2022. So I don't think these will be in the video. But Pete did say that there might be late war Italy.
That would be great.
Yeah, and what he said he was going to do, or they were going to do, was they were going to do. Battlefront would do like a booklet with command cards. And he didn't give a lot of details. And, he runs multiple companies, not just Battlefront. And he's got things going on. So he was a little fuzzy on the details. But it said, from what I took from it, there would be a booklet with... So you wouldn't get all the stuff, but you get a lot of command cards, like command cards for the British Army and because you would use probably the formations coming out of the existing books from the U.S. and from the Brits and from the Germans, but then you would have command cards for like Hermann Goering and command cards
and then the
for
Allied multinationals, the Poles, the Indians, maybe
Poles, and you're right, and the Italians that switched sides and still fought for the Germans. Maybe you'd have
maybe some Italian partisan.
I don't know the partisans are such.
Oh, that probably is maybe a command card on that.
Yeah,
making some kind of effect in the battle.
So basically, I think it's going to be not a big, huge release of models and stuff. It's going to mostly be command cards with a booklet, and the booklet may just be kind of a history overview because they can't like reproduce all of the ETO stuff for Italy, although Italy's part of ETO, but you know what I'm talking about. You can't take the stuff from Normandy or all the existing D-Day and Bulge stuff and redo it. So don't expect for a whole new set of books, but basically a set of command cards with one booklet, and maybe the booklet explains how you use those command cards to modify formations in other books in order to come up with the units that would be appropriate for Italy.
Well, I hope they definitely mention the Canadians. That'd be really good.
Yeah. Well, they those. I'm thinking the 91st was the 91st and 92nd, the Buffalo Soldier Division, the African American Division.
92nd.
I don't know. It's 50-50 chance you're right.
Anyways,
I want to say 92nd too. But anyways, so they might be in there, prominent unit from, and one that I really hope to see is the 3rd Dragoon Guards, the bays.
Oh yeah.
Because in Italy they had a unit that they were basically equipped with all the M476s that the Brits did not want because they wanted the Fireflies for Normandy.
Right.
So the M476s they sent to Italy. So the 3rd Dragoon, so very unique formation. M4 with a 76 millimeter gun.
Yeah, right.
So that's what I'm hoping for. So anyways, so maybe there's some potential for some Italy. I know a lot of people have been clamoring for that.
Yeah.
And
maybe in one.
Of course. And having some command cards and would be more than sufficient for I just need command cards that would convert a British armored squadron into a M476 armored squadron. Yeah. That's all I need.
It'd be pretty cool if they had a couple unique scenarios for Italy in there also.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. What else they have? There's a little bit discussion about late war Leviathans.
Late war?
Yeah, late war Leviathans.
Yeah.
Like we had mid-war monsters in the past.
Yeah.
And Pete said, and he also said these being plastic, but he said we've got to have a mouse kit.
Yeah.
and a Centurion, he said we have to have that because that will play into early Team Yankee, Checkpoint Charlie.
Yeah.
So the Centurion, which
carry on to that.
The Centurion did come out in 45, but it never made combat.
It never made combat. It did make it to Germany, though. It just didn't get in there. It was that last week or two of the war. Yeah.
Yep. And then some discussion of early war. But not a lot. Pete said that he loves early war.
Me too.
And he owns the company, so if he loves early war, then I hope that gives hope that we'll see.
I hope it happens.
We'll see early war.
Been waiting for it for a long time.
Yeah, but certainly don't expect it in 2022. Though.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's not even.
Well, with these other books coming out this morning.
Oh, yeah, they're doing tons of stuff.
Yeah.
And then the Pacific compilation.
You and I want to hear about this. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he kicked around some ideas about that. Seemed like there were some proposals, some drafts, kind of. Again, this would be much longer down the pipe. Mm-hmm. And somebody asked if it would include U.S. Army, which I would love to see. That's what I want. Yeah. And not just Marines and Japanese, and that's it. We'd love to see the 14th Army for the Brits, and and all the different units there.
Maybe the Burma stuff also.
Yeah, that would be 14th Army.
Yeah, right.
The British 14th Army. Yeah, and the Australians, and what was that? The Kokoda campaign. What is that campaign where the trail that came across Papua New Guinea? Yeah. Anyway, so so there's some I'd love to see some branches out there, and I definitely want to see U.S. Army. Mm-hmm. Although, again, we wouldn't need a U.S. Army book. We would take the existing list, D-Day or what have you, and then with command cards could possibly modify them to do U.S. Army Pacific.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's wouldn't need anything. And honestly, you wouldn't even need that. You could just use some of the existing lists. There's really I can't think of anything unique the Army had in the Pacific that it did not have in Europe. It just had less of it.
Less of it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sherman would be the biggest tank. There'd be no 76s.
Yeah.
Half tracks with...
Maybe a Sherman flame tank. That would be a nice, unique one.
Yeah, well, they definitely had those, but I think we have Sherman crocodiles now already, so... in
bold.
Yeah, so I don't know, there may be some very minor pieces of kit. Amtracks, I guess, would be the biggest thing.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Because Army had those as well as the Marine Corps. And the half tracks with the half track assault guns, the Army used them in the Pacific a lot later than they used them in Europe.
Right. Yeah.
So those things might be still lingering around.
Okay.
So but I'm just happy they do anything with the Pacific. You and I both have. Plenty of Japanese troops that
I'm ready to start a new invasion.
Yeah. So some interesting stuff. So Battlefront, some exciting news, and you'll hopefully get more details and clarity on 2022 here.
Yeah.
By the time you hear this, or shortly after, and some things to be hopeful for the future. So
a lot of exciting stuff coming out. This is going to be a busy year.
Definitely exciting. So let's take a break, shall we?
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good.
All right. We'll take a break. Ed sat down.
When it comes to paint, tools, and hobby supplies, Hard Knocks Games offers quantity and quality. We carry hundreds of hard-to-find products from brands like Ammo of MiG, Mr. Hobby, and AK Interactive. Come shop our massive selection of games, model kits, and more at 5571 North Dixie Highway. Or find us online at hardknocksgames.com.
All right, welcome back from the break, everybody. So now we want to talk about where we would normally talk about rules that forgot, but we're going to talk about rules Battlefront changed.
Yeah, there you go. Now, if you want to really mess me up, now you're doing it.
You had a hard time playing the game before.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so we will talk about some of the changes in Lessons from the Front and FM 105. And they're really... one of them we've been talking about already. It's already been clarified on Facebook, but now it's official in Lessons from the Front. We'll save that for last, and that applies only to Team Yankee. But the other two apply to both rule sets. And there are some other changes, but the two that we really want to talk about is number 1, line of sight. That's changed. And then number 2 changes the spearhead. And these are going to be
big.
Yes, very, very big changes. So line of sight. So what's going on with that, Ed? What is it? What are they doing here?
Well, with the line of sight now, they're talking about the hills. Mm-hmm. The hills are
and buildings.
Yeah, I know. This is going to be whatever the height is. The height is so. Yes. With the tanks, there's a certain height. If the hill doesn't cover the amount, and you still see from the baseline down with your eyeball on the board,
they can't see your hands, Ed.
Yeah. Well, my inner Italian is coming out. I'm getting excited.
So, in the past, nobody saw over tall terrain.
Yeah, we just said that was a hill. This is a hill. You can't see past it.
Also,
unless you're on the
if you were in
the hill.
Yes, also. So, it was simple. You didn't have to get down and check line of sight.
Right.
But also, you had some weird scenarios. Like, what if I got this spotter in this tower of this church that's 9 or 10 inches off the ground in the center of the town, and it can't see out of the town because it can't, by the rules, see over the one-story houses that surround it.
Right.
So that's kind of back and forth. So that kind of it was easy to play, but it also in some cases gave some unrealistic feels. Or if you had a drastic piece of elevation, they couldn't see over an Ed hill. And if you know what an Ed hill is,
it's a very small hill.
It's the hills, board, hills that Ed likes to model when he puts together a board that I have to bust him out about. Yeah. So Ed makes these little tiny hills. They're really, I call them mounds. Yeah. You might be lucky to put like 3 tanks on one of these things. Yeah. And they're actually not often taller than the vehicle. So those hills, those mounds that you make will, I guess they won't block line of sight. But it'll provide concealment. So nice, hold down.
It's a rolling hill and.
It's a hold down. It's a hold down position out in the middle of the board.
Yeah, now it can be.
So anyway, so they're still worthwhile. I mean, because we should have more smaller little terrain features, but now they can make a difference. So it will slow down play to some extent.
Yeah.
Because now you may occasionally, and a lot of times you don't have to. The scenario I was just talking about, the church steeple pretty clearly you don't have to get down and check it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to, but not every time. Sometimes you can clearly tell, oh yeah, from here I can easily see to the across the other houses to that field out there. That won't be an issue.
Right.
And I played a game with Chad. One of the proprietors of Hard Knocks Games, who we do commercials for.
Right.
By the way, we do those for free. We don't get any sort of reimbursement for that.
Right. It'd be nice, but
in case you're wondering, we're happy for what Hard Knocks Games does for us, so we're happy to advertise for them. Plus, it makes the podcast sound, I don't know, quasi-official. I don't know, to have commercials. But anyways, so Chad and I, we played a Team Yankee game.
Yeah.
And we had some pretty significant hill pieces out on the board, and
but with that hill, that large hill that you're talking about, how did the pieces fall off of it? I mean, when you try to put your unit on there, or
no, not in this case. But I was able to see over some lower buildings to some stuff behind it, and I was able to call in some fire.
Yeah, that's my concern. The hill. The size of the hill. It's taking up a big chunk of the board now.
Well, yeah.
And can you... Because I know a lot of the hills that we have already, the pieces are sliding off of them.
Well, that's because people aren't putting flocking on the hills. They're just putting the... Yeah.
Well, if you figure, if you're going to make a higher hill, you're going to have...
Yeah, you need to have more general slopes if you want models.
And that's going to take a huge spot of the board now.
No, it doesn't have to. It won't. No. Nobody has to build any larger hills than they have been, other than you. Because your little your little mounds won't do a damn thing for anybody.
Those are nice little mounds.
Yeah, well,
anyway,
they'll still make hull down protection for they're still, but they just were so small that they
quit whining about my hills. Anyway,
little bumps on the board,
little bumps. Yeah,
so there's no difference.
I think it's going to make a significant difference.
It's going to slow things down a little bit when you have to occasionally actually look at the line of sights. I think in most cases you'll be able to tell.
Now here I am bending down on my old selfness.
In some cases, true. But also now, things that where you couldn't have line of sight where you should have had them in the past, you can now get them. So it's a two-edged sword. It will take more time. You will have to bend down occasionally, but you will, like the scenario where, you can't see out of that tower across the rooftops of the lower one-story buildings to see in the field beyond. That by the old rules, that's what would happen. Now you can actually have line of sight that makes more sense. So
it makes more sense, but I think you get a potential for conflict here. I'm saying they can see it. No, you can't see it. I can't see it. Well, I can see it. No, you can see it. They come over here and you look at it.
Yes.
Now we're going to have...
In some cases. But I'm just saying, a lot of them, that won't come into play. A lot, like Chad and I had no issue saying...
What I want to see then is what Battlefront expects a good hill to look like. So now I can make my hills...
I tell you, they already have it. They already have the large hills. They're in the closet right next to you. They've already produced large hills for the desert and for the,
those things are huge. Take up a huge part of the board.
Huge to you, Mound Man.
They're huge.
I
mean, you just have that one thing on there.
Okay, well, people...
But what about hills with trees on them?
People can make their own assessment on what they consider a huge hill is.
Yeah.
I don't think they're... In fact, they're labeled large and extra large.
Is that
that's what they label.
Is that what large means? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what they say.
Right.
But for Mr. Mound Man over here, any hill bigger than 3 inches across, and half an inch tall.
And my big hill's 4 inch diameter. I just want you to know that it's almost. And I got another one that's almost 5.
So I don't think you have to do anything different modeling, other than you.
I would have to do significant.
Yeah, but just because you have these tiny little mounds that, anyways. But anyways, enough of those. So line of sight has changed. For better or for worse, it will slow down in some cases. It could cause some contention, some arguments. Laser pointers will be necessary in some points, but I just don't think that's going to often do it. It was easier before. Hey, you just can't see over tall terrain. Screw you. Even though I'm looking from my tall terrain at you, and I could, Yeah. So I'm kind of okay with it. I just don't like it for the slowing down.
Yep.
But having played already with the new. And honestly, it's how we did in version 3 anyway, so we're just going back to the past. It's not any worse than what we did in version 3. That was the exact way. Right,
I know.
It wasn't until version 4 when by the letter as rules written, you cannot see over tall terrain. Tall terrain just block line of sight. Now tall terrain blocks line of sight if it actually blocks line of sight.
If it blocks line of sight.
So it just makes the game more realistic, slightly slower. Does leave some contention. I'm with you, but I don't think anybody's going to model hills any differently than they have been because we're going right back to what we had in version 3, and people played in version 3. And it wasn't version 3 was not known for massive hills. Yeah. That suddenly went away in version 4. So I don't see any big changes in modeling, other than for you, my friend, Mr. Mount.
Mount Man.
All right. So what's the next big change they had, Ed?
Well, the spearhead was big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
So in version 3, you could spearhead from a spearhead, right? And so you could truck across the board. Version 4, that got kiboshed.
Yeah.
No, do we even have spearhead in version 3? Maybe it was early. Maybe it was early version 4. You could spearhead from a spearhead, and then that got kiboshed. So
I remember now.
and now it's kind of halfway back. That's how I'd say it.
Yeah.
So now.
Yeah, go over the details on the spearhead piece.
So basically, I put the letter. I just put the. Don't worry, I put it up.
Okay, all right.
I don't have it on hand, but the basically the gist of it was that if I spearhead out, I take my I'll top
Pumas.
Team Yankee. Okay, Pumas. I take my Pumas out. I have 2 platoons of Pumas.
Right.
All right. So I deploy in my deployment zone for the first one, and then I'd spearhead out, going whatever dash move or tactical move I could go. If it's a road, it could be huge, but whatever distance I could go. And then I can now deploy units within 8 inches of that. That's no change to spearhead rule there.
Right.
But if I take the second Puma unit and put it in the new spearhead zone of the first Puma unit, they cannot move any further. They cannot spearhead out of there. But their 8-inch deployment bubble for other units does still exist. So you can basically, what's the term you wanted to use there, Ed?
Daisy chain.
Daisy chain. Yeah, so you could daisy chain out. So this is going to be huge, right? If you're playing a run of these armored car lists, you could daisy chain for each unit you have. You could extend your deployment zone your spearhead by another 8 inches, basically. So that's kind of
it's a major change in deployment.
It is. Well, it's not
in consideration.
It's not as huge as it was before, where you could spearhead from a spearhead. Right. But so now it's like halfway in between. Well, you can't move, but you extend,
go 8 inches from that.
You extend the bubble.
Right.
Yeah. So it just moves things out. So that was pretty significant, and that's going to make have a huge impact. That's going to be for units that have a lot of cheap recon. Universal carriers, armored cars. Before I always said you had to have 1 recon unit. Now I'm thinking, heck, I better have 2 or 3 maybe.
It can make a big difference.
Yeah, it can. particularly if you have the slow recon, like the BA-10s.
BA-10s, 8 inches out. That's it. That's all you want.
Or the Auto Belindas or something. There's some recon units that only move. They have pretty slow dash speeds.
221s.
Yeah, their dash speed's not very impressive.
Yeah.
And unless they're on a road and they fly, but so this can help, particularly with the slower recon if you have multiple units. So this could make a big difference in some forces. And in Team Yankee, it's like, great. Heck, the PMPs are dashing 24, 28 inches anyways. But I didn't really need multiple units to sprint. But now I can even throw out a few more units and make it a little deeper. So
you need the rest of the board to deploy all your Team Yankee units out there. Yeah,
otherwise they get too crammed in the corner.
That's right.
They got to do that.
Yeah.
So the last change we want to talk about is not really anything new. We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
In discussions on this podcast, and that is that. And this only applies to Team Yankee. Minefield deployable artillery.
Yeah.
So if your opponent drops a minefield on your infantry, your infantry cannot immediately clear it the next turn. Your infantry has to move. I'm using air quotes that you can't see.
Yeah, you're talking with your hands now.
You have to move, even though you didn't move the miniature. You basically have to take the die roll to see if you trip the mine.
Yeah.
Right, and then if you survive,
even if you don't move.
You counting as moving.
Right.
Yeah, you have to have moved without moving, whatever you want to call it. But you basically have had to roll a dice to see if you trip the mine on the turn during your movement step.
So anything that's in that circle for the minefield, okay, They have to check.
No, they don't have to check if they just want to sit still and never do anything.
Well, see, that's what I thought.
But you can sit still in a minefield and just chill.
Yeah, even though it's thrown on you.
We're talking about clearing it. So
okay.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with you just being in a minefield when it gets deployed on top of you. Right? Okay. That has nothing to do with it. But the infantry or tanks with mine rollers, mine plows, cannot automatically clear the mines the next turn and their next movement step. Mm-hmm. They have to have attempted a move, again, whether they're stationed or not. They've got to roll the dice to do the skill check.
If they tripped or not.
Right. And if they've done that and they survive, and the next turn after that they're still there, now they've just like they've moved into it from outside
then
the
it's cleared.
Yeah, so little nuancy thing, but that helps make the air deployable mines. Do they have any air from like helicopter? No, not yet. But they should.
Well, you had the Germans have the air scoutable ones from their aircraft.
In the rules?
Yeah.
I know in real life they
have
the
minelets.
They do? Okay, good. Mm-hmm. I knew in real life there was some air deployable.
Yeah, we had them. Yeah, the German.
Well, you play West Germans. I don't play West Germans.
Yeah, they have it.
And
they're great.
I've never had anybody try to drop.
Oh, yeah?
I've never had anybody try to drop mines. Well, compared to that...
with all your anti-air, it'd be like good luck trying to make it through it.
Well, dude, if you got that salvo, that huge salvo template...
I've wiped out 9 out of 10 tanks with that thing.
That's not mines.
Well, they're minelets.
No. That's you're confusing things here.
Or bomblets.
Okay, that's different things.
They're bomblets.
The salvo only hits what's there when it's there. I'm talking about putting out minefields.
Yeah. That's different altogether. So it's a salvo template, like a bomblet. Yeah.
Okay, different.
Yeah, right. Gotcha.
So the question is that I'm trying to get the answer to. Yeah. Particularly the West Germans, do they have anything that deploys mines from aircraft in Team Yankee right now?
From aircraft, I do not think so.
Okay, that was the question.
Yeah, I was thinking bomblets. Sorry.
All right, well, you were thinking one thing and not listening to what I was saying.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
But listen to my words.
Yeah, I gotta listen. Yeah,
yes. So anyways, but in real life they exist. There are aircraft that deploy minefields. Yeah. But some of those... and the West Germans, I know, had one that hangs from the belly of the Tornado.
Yeah, that's correct.
It looks like a big box with side-firing rockets. It's a crazy-looking thing. And I think there's some helicopters in the U.S., like Chinook packages or some other things that would just sling load them and whatever. I don't know. But there's definitely some out there. But we're talking particularly the air deployable mines. So there you go.
Yeah.
So that's new. So upcoming events. Let's talk about some of those. We have some events that will be up and coming.
What is coming up?
Oh, Lordy, where are those?
I know one thing that's coming up.
Oh, yeah. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to have a Team Yankee tournament here. The first week, no, the 8th of January.
Yep.
And we're going to have
Hard Knocks games.
90 points.
Red versus blue.
Red versus blue as much as possible, but that's the intent.
I'll be playing Soviets.
Yeah, I know you will.
That's all I have.
Yeah, well, I'm going to run it, but if we're short, I'll play my Western.
And that's why Chad and I played 90 points yesterday.
Oh, okay.
That was a prep
game. That's good.
Oh, and he has a brand new American force. It was beautiful.
He's not going to play his Kransnovians?
Well, he'll play whatever it needs to play, but he has a brand new U.S. force, and it was cool. It was a cav troop, so he had the 113s, the TOW, and the scout version.
Oh, good.
And then he had M60s for tanks. No infantry at all.
Okay.
Only mortars, but he had 3 units of Apaches. Cobras.
Cobras.
He had 12 Cobras.
Oh, my God.
So, that was a fun game. So thanks for that, Chad. As he was ripping up my backfield with helicopters coming all over the place and tearing stuff up.
So we'll play a fold gap scenario, man.
Yeah, so that's January 8th, and hopefully, and also January 8th in Indianapolis, they're doing an event at the same time.
Yeah, same.
Which means that Chris Fretz and Joe Lewis might not be coming down to kick our butts like normal.
Yeah, that's what they normally do.
So they did that, not us. We had ours scheduled first.
Yeah, we told them. Man. If we had enough room, we would have taken.
But that work they would normally schedule off, but that was the only weekend because of other events up there. So no big deal. So
what are they doing?
It's a Flames of War. I wasn't paying attention to the details because we can't go, but I'm just letting people know that on January 8th in Indianapolis there'll be a Flames of War event. I'm sorry, I don't know what type it's going to be.
Okay.
And then is this right? January 11th?
Well, that can't be right.
That can't be right. What are we looking at here?
That's messed up.
Yeah,
is that last year's?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
This looks like last year's stuff.
Yeah, January 28th, the Las Vegas Open, which includes the Late War Nationals with a Late War 110 5-round event. And they're also going to do a Team Yankee 70-round event. So that's the end of this month.
Okay.
A lot of folks going out there. And then February 19th, Melee at Shiloh in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Late War.
You know what? We probably need to think about traveling to that one.
That's Charlie.
That's Charlie Clay's
Clay and those
area.
guys? Yeah. 110 points.
We need to go there.
Well, if you take me.
Well, I'll drive.
No, I'm talking. You pay for the hotel. You pay for gas. I need limited on budget, buddy.
Yeah.
So
I think we're both limited on budget this year. We spent a lot.
And then we have on March 4th and 5th in Sensicon.
Yeah, good. We're in Hamilton again.
One of those is okay. One would be a day trip. I could probably go for one of those, or maybe squeeze out an overnighter. That's not too far for us, but they're doing a Team Yankee event on the 4th of March.
Okay.
70, 90, 110, so different rounds.
4th.
And then a 110 on the 5th, which would be a Saturday. So that's Friday for the 4th, Saturday for the 5th, and they're doing a Late War 110 point. I guess that'd be open. And then we have Wolf Craig.
Yes, and that's the second weekend of March.
Yeah,
I don't have the
12th
calendar.
and 13th. 12th and 13th?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have my.
I don't know, but it's the second weekend.
I don't even have my phone.
And it's a Saturday, Sunday 5-round.
Yep.
3 rounds on Saturday.
It's
2 rounds on Sunday.
Already been announced on Facebook.
Yep.
And they have Red versus Blue Battle of the Bulge.
Yeah.
And we know we won't have the new Bulge German stuff, so I wonder how many people are going to be motivated to play Germans.
Well, in order to do it, you and I probably will have to go to German for sure.
I hate doing that because then I always get my butt kicked.
Yeah, but that's,
Whenever I switch at the last minute. But
I've got my German winter guys that I haven't used since Fredericksburg there in Virginia several years ago.
Like 5 years ago.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah. So that was a good event, though.
Yeah, that was.
So, and we need to do some snowboard. You already have a snowboard with snow mounds.
You go messing with my mounds again.
Your little mounds look like little snow drifts. You have to build them up to true hills.
All right.
So
my thing is, if I do those hills, you had forested hills. So how am I going to get them to stay on there? It's going to be a challenge to figure out.
It's a simple mission, bro. I've got foam. Mm-hmm. We shape it, and then you put the trees directly into the foam. You actually
but I don't have trees like that. I had to purchase some more stuff.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there you go. Cha-ching.
Yeah, model
it's
railroad.
like Mr. Moneybags not here.
You have more liquid cash than me, but modelrailroad.com. You go.
Yeah, I know.
Go down.
We go to the downtown store. They got some of
companies
that
make trees with bases that are designed to be pushed in the foam.
And so if you want to get on that spot with your tank now, you're taking my tree out, so now they're going to be plucking holes all in my new hills.
You're just making problems.
I know
it.
I'm whining.
Then layer the hill. Use contours.
No, that's what I'm thinking about. So see, this is what I'm saying. I want to see what they think is a good hill, like multi-level hill, how it should look. That way, I've got something to model. I'm not making it up.
I think you're the only one that needs that.
I need this. Battlefront, show me what a good hill that you expect is.
Please, Battlefront, shut up.
Please show me so I can shut up. I'm whining here now.
He can't figure it out. He needs a diagram.
Yeah. Show me some pictures.
Yeah. So, anyways, we really love Wolf Craig. It's always a great event.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of people already signed up for it. I think like 6 or 7 already. So,
I wonder if we get any Californias this year.
We do have guys fly in from up from Florida, from California. I mean, all over the place. So it's always a good show.
Yeah.
And so and then a week or two later, we roll into Adepticon out there in Schaumburg, Illinois, aka southwestern Chicago.
Yep.
And they're going to run Team Yankee on the 25th, which is a Thursday. And then they'll have a mid-war 105 point 6-rounder, and that would be a Nationals, I expect, from...
I would imagine so,
yeah. So on the 26th and 27th, I will not be there. I have tickets already, and I can't go. I have the rollover tickets. Yeah, I've got a hunting trip with my dad, and so that's my. I got to focus.
I have
on
not been to an Adepticon yet.
Well, there might be some local guys going. You could probably team up with somebody. You can drive up to Indianapolis and just link up with any of the guys from Indianapolis and ride up with them and share rooms. I'm sure they're going to have odd number and need to. So I highly recommend it.
I'd like to. I really would. And I know Chris does a great job with that.
If I could transfer my ticket to you, I would, but I don't know that those are transferable. I'm not sure. Well, dude, it's an expensive ticket.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Well, if I can transfer it to you, you can use mine, but I'm not sure that's doable.
Will they allow you to roll that over to the next year because you couldn't make it this year?
It's already rolled over 1 year because of COVID.
COVID, right? Yeah.
And I don't know, to answer your question. If it can, then you can't have mine. No.
No.
Well, next year I mean probably have.
I think they should.
Yeah. So that's what's coming up. So. Good news on the horizon, certainly west of the Mississippi. Well, Las Vegas is out west, so we have all over the country events going on, a lot of things. And then, so 2022, what do you want to do, man? What's your focus?
Well, there are a lot of things that I want to catch up on. And so I still got a little bit of West Germans I need to finish up. But I've got Americans and I've got Soviets there for Team Yankee that I haven't even started yet. And I'd really like to do that. That way I can have an allied force for my West Germans if I could,
Sure.
I can do that.
You mean an Axis force or Red force, Communist force to fight your West Germans?
No. I'm talking about getting my Americans so I can do an allied force with my West
Germans.
Germans.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Do that first and then do my Soviets. And then I've got my World War I guys.
Yeah, your friends.
I know you've whined about me getting my. Yeah. It's been 4 years now.
I know.
And I've got everything, and I just gotta paint them.
All right. Well, so worthy goals. I'll harass you more.
Yeah.
What is the one?
Need to get me to do it?
What is the one thing that I said I really want to do in 2021 that I did absolutely zero of?
Paint.
What? Yeah.
Anything almost.
No.
You hardly paid anything this year.
I've been pretty.
You had a big year last year.
Pretty dismal, but
yeah.
I did crank out some. I did some. I
did
a whole force.
Some. You've done the half tracks.
Yeah, the mid-war Germans. I did a whole force for those.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, but nothing compared to what you did last year. Last year was like a phenomenal year for you.
I burnt myself out.
Yeah.
But one of the things I really want to do in 2021 was paint my modern Team Yankee Americans.
Oh yeah,
we got tons of it.
Yeah,
and I just keep playing Soviet, and cranking out more Soviet stuff. So
everybody's bringing Allied kind of stuff and NATO stuff, and we needed a Soviet player, and you're you're taking it on yourself to play that.
Well, no, it's all I have because it's what I did initially. But I want to get my U.S. stuff done.
You gonna do your U.S. in desert for like Desert Storm kind of stuff?
I'm gonna be doing both. Because I have so many M1s.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lot, too.
I can't, yeah.
How many starter sets have I bought?
Trust me.
3.
Yeah, I have so many M1s. I'll be doing 105s, 105, IPs, M1A ones, and probably multiple color. I will do...
I'm going to have M60s and M1s.
I'm going to do M1 IPs in a 3-color NATO color, because that's what my first platoon had when I was, a young tanker.
Young LT.
Yeah. And then I will also then do M1A1s in desert.
Yeah.
Because I also had those later on. So, anyways, that's so I will have at least 2 M1 forces, one 105 and one 120, and probably the 120s will be desert theme and so on. So that's kind of my thought process. So I just got to do it. I gotta. But Napoleonics, man, I got a lot of.
You got a lot of stuff there too.
Yeah, but I got to vary. You want to keep things fresh.
Yeah, you
don't want to get burnt.
It's a different paint.
So I need to do something for a month and then do something else for the next month, and just kind of
rotate it so you're not getting burned.
Yeah, and then bolt stuff. You got your winter Soviets. I may want to come up with a winter force specifically for Wolfcraig.
I got my winter Volks Grenadiers.
I may do a winter force too. I'd be 3D printing it.
Yeah.
I got the files. I can print. I bought the 3D breed files, so I may do winter Germans, and then if I have to play Germans, at least I'll get to play something new in the force.
Right.
Whatever. Yeah. So anyway, so that's kind of what I'm looking for. My main focus is get my Team Yankee US. I got to get them going, and then but I'm not going to be purchasing a whole lot. I have so much of the stuff already. But then again, that Team Yankee stuff drops. There's some other kits that come out. The Team Yankee Red Dawn.
I don't think going to be so many cool things coming out.
I don't think we'll see it next year personally, but there's a lot of other things. I mean, heck, if they, like I said, they come out with the 76 millimeter British ones for Italy, then I'll be doing a whole friggin' force of those.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Yeah, I've got my comments that I need to make.
Yeah, so we have a lot of stuff to do, a lot to look forward to. And another thing that I'm doing a major car restoration project, so my funds are way more limited for specifically for traveling, because that's what eats up most of my hobby dollars.
But just tell your mom to give you a little higher allowance there, Tom.
Yeah. It's not, I am getting a break.
Mom,
I am getting a pay raise.
I can't pay for my new car. My paint, and I got so many things.
It's but here's but it's not a bad thing. I just won't be traveling as much.
Right.
I mean, we still have. We're fortunate that we have a great local gaming community, lots of activities, lots of events.
Yeah.
But I want to do a shift. I want to get away from this. I still will play tournaments, but that will not be my main focus.
Oh, yeah, we talked about this thing.
We want to do more multiplayer, large battles, themed events, mini campaigns.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Little Wars TV on YouTube, you look up on YouTube Little Wars TV Mekong. MEKONG. For Mekong River.
Yeah.
That's the kind of game I want to play. Multiplayers, different missions, coming in different sides of boards.
And there's a campaign. It all ties in.
There has to be a game master.
Yeah.
A guy so you can have totally hidden units and the Viet Cong and popping up wherever they're going to be at. And I just want to do some more structured scenario games that are multiplayer, that are a little bit more off the standard 100 points versus 100 points, role mission.
Yeah, remember when we did version 3 a couple years ago at the Battle of the Bulge? Something like that. Just make it a version 4. And then same thing with the Bridge Too Far.
Think about the
campaign.
The Kursk anniversary battle we did with 12
right.
players. That was fantastic.
Huge board.
Were you here when we did the Henut battle for early war? Yeah. So that was those.
I played French.
Right. That's what we want to see more of. I want to do more of that kind of gaming, more theme, campaign, scenario focus, less competitive, but at the same time, I will continue to participate in. I will still play in every local event. I'm not going to miss anything. We run at Hard Knocks games.
I want to seriously think about going down to Arkansas and supporting.
I'm going to have to keep my overnight travel. That's probably gone. So basically,
I see you're trying to get my donut. Yeah. Well, I feel so sorry for you. You got to work a lot harder on that one.
Yeah. Well, you don't feel sorry. I don't worry about that. So a day trip. To Nashville for NashCon. Sure.
Yeah, that's easy.
Shoot down for the day. Indianapolis for an event or two. Sure.
Yeah.
Sensicon.
That's
maybe.
Well, it's a 2-day. Maybe. Let's put it
one day event we want to. But,
true.
I mean, that's one because there are 2 tournaments. I might be willing to suck it up and try to spend 2 months hobby money on on an overnighter.
Okay.
But anyways, we'll see how things go. But that's my focus. I really want to get those U.S. stuff for Team Yankee done. Possibly do a winter force for World War II. For Wolfkrieg, I guess it'd be German as a standby force.
Yeah.
And then let's start doing some scenarios. Let's start talking about something other than just tournaments, and we can discuss that stuff here. So that's my focus. So in any case,
I like that idea.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have less COVID, right? And
hopefully,
Omicron, whatever.
Not looking too good at the moment.
Yeah, we're both coughing. I'm like, we're sitting there coughing on each other.
We're both giving each other the disease.
Yeah, we are recording at the same location this time because Ed came over to have dinner and help me do some maintenance of the house that I couldn't do by myself.
Yeah, he pays me in food.
Offer
food. That'll take it. Guaranteed. Yeah.
If I need some
let's take advantage of his labor here.
So we did that, and then we said, hey, well, let's go ahead and try to get out of recording. Close one out, and so we're at 23. I think that's about right, or is this 22? I forgot. What did you say?
I think it was 23.
Yeah,
it was 23.
Yeah. So we're pretty much on target. We wanted to do a monthly podcast, and we are pretty much on target with that. So we've been doing it for 2 years. We started in January.
I know. It's amazing. It's gone by so fast.
We started in January of 2020, I guess. So we shall continue, I guess, to do it.
Yeah, sounds like a great idea.
And hopefully we do more of these live ones. And we still want to bring in external people. No time to coordinate that, so we just went ahead and since Ed...
Yeah, this was on the spot right here.
Yeah, you were here, let's go ahead and knock it out. So let us know if you like this format better than the older one, or if you just want to hear more of us talking about lists that people are playing or lists that we're playing, or if you'd like to hear us talk about some of these campaigns and scenarios or whatever. We're willing to take this ship wherever you want it to go.
Yeah.
Just give us a heads up. Mm-hmm. So, and you can give us a heads up at where, Ed? Make contact with us?
Oh, on the site.
Yeah, well, you go to No Dice No Glory to the forum.
No Glory, right.
You can go check that forum out and give us a ping there. There's a little section for podcast feedback. You can also email us at podcast@battlavault.com. And podcast and BattleVault, one word. That's BattleVault.com. And you can say, hey, you guys suck.
Yeah, or if you want our opinion on something, just ask us. Yeah, we'll tell you. You might not like it.
Yeah. If you have a segment you'd like us to do, if you want to ask us questions, and we'll try to research things, or you're interested in what rambling thoughts we may have about a certain subject, then...
Or if we were to run a campaign on this, and you want to get Italy or whatever, you want to hear our opinions on it, and on how we might do it, we'll be happy to brainstorm that with you guys.
Yep, indeed. Okay, guys. Well, I think that's about all we have from this end. Ed, anything else you want to add?
Just have a good New Year and
Merry Christmas,
and
Happy New Year,
Happy Gaming New Year.
Yeah, and
is that how we said it? I can't remember now.
Yes, Merry Christmas and Happy
Gaming New Year. That's right. Yeah,
yeah. From Ed and Tom at the BattleVault podcast. All right.